Welcome back. Today we're reading chapter 9. Lava pit. The Count is treacherous, Lindenbrook warned the prince. His advice could ruin your power. I'll fix him, grunted Torg. With surprising speed, for so short a man, Torg raced around the table toward the professor. Both of Torg's hands shot forward, grabbed Lindenbrook by his jacket, and yanked him off the floor, despite the professor's greater height. But before Torg could fully display his angry power, Saknussemm was at his side. The Count put 2 restraining hands on top of Torg's arms, forcing him to release Lindenbrook. I am sure, oozed the Count, that our good prince can dispose of such nuisances far better than we. He said you were dangerous. Wolves began uncertainly. Jealousy, scoffed the Count. You see, we are both trying to reach the center of the earth. Why should you wish to do that? Asked Wolves curiously. Pride, replied Saknussemm quickly, before Torg could tell him the true reason. Pride in being the first to get there, and because we are racing to a common goal. Lindenbrook will try anything to beat me. What started as a gentlemanly contest has become a vicious battle, all because of his dirty tactics. Wolves put his bat whistle to his lips and blew it 4 times. Lindenbrook started to explain the real reason for the journey to the center of the earth, but his words were drowned by the squeaking of bats. Down swept 3 messenger bats, and once again, the helpless explorer found himself yanked from the ground. The lava pit will soon dispose of your vile rival, Prince Wolves told the Count. Saknussemm and Torg watched in satisfaction as the giant bats carried the professor through the towering archway of the throne room. Perhaps his fate might interest you. Wolves chuckled evilly. Saknussemm's face lit up in glee at the prospect of Lindenbrook's discomfiture. Yes, yes. Where can we watch? This way. The prince rose assuredly from his throne and walked straight for the door, as if he could see. The giant bats were circling a short distance beyond the lava palace. Lindenbrook was suspended beneath them. Wolves again blew his golden whistle. Down dropped the bats into a pit about 10 feet deep and 10 feet across. Its sides were steep and glass-like. At another whistled command, the bats dropped the professor into the pit. Lindenbrook landed on bent knees. He looked up. Saknussemm and Torg leered down. With a shrug, Lindenbrook sat down. Then he heard a slight hiss coming from a tiny crack in the floor of the pit. Drip by drip, scalding lava was oozing into the pit. Lindenbrook jumped to his feet. His hands reached up against the smooth walls, but it was impossible to climb out. "Forgive us if we leave you and have dessert," snickered the Count. "You can pit yourself against the pit." Saknussemm and Torg vanished from above, chuckling contentedly. Desperately, Lindenbrook leaped up toward one pit wall. His hands stretched high, but they were still 2 feet short of the rim. Escape was impossible. More scalding lava drops flowed into the pit bottom. What could he do? "Keep coming," Alec encouraged the slaves. Finally, the heat began to diminish as more and more sponge stones absorbed the lava. "By golly, now we cross," Big Lars shouted, waving to the others to follow. Lars raced across the natural bridge. It was still hot, but it was bearable for the brief seconds it took to rush over the river of fire. "Phew!" gasped Cindy as she staggered off the bridge and away from the river on the other side. "I'm dripping. What a way to lose weight. It's a regular steam bath." Alec hurried the others over, and when the last pygmy slave had crossed the river, they all cheered. "No!" scolded Alec. "Don't cheer until we rescued the man who is responsible for our escape. Professor Lindenbrook." The slaves shouted their agreement and set out at a trot for the palace. Bats flew wildly into the throne room. "Something's wrong," exclaimed Wolves, rising quickly from the table. Saknussemm and Torg watched him in surprise. "Something is upsetting my bats." The trio rushed to the palace entrance. Suddenly, the Count saw the danger, the approaching slaves. Big Lars' blonde hair waved like a defiant banner in the lead. "The slaves are coming," gasped Torg. "Do not fear," Wolves advised calmly. He placed the bat whistle between his lips and blew loudly. Down from between the great stalactites in the cavern ceiling came the fierce swarm of giant bats. They circled and quickly assembled a vast formation. A loud clicking could be heard as the bats' radar began seeking out the target. "We have no chance. They'll seize us again." The slaves gazed up fearfully. "Grab stones," urged Alec, stooping to pick up a small piece of lava. His slingshot sped it up high at long stalactite. "He's right," agreed Cindy. "That trick baffled the bats before. But would it work again?" I wonder. Join me again next time for Chapter 10. Defeating the Reargs of this story. Chapter 10. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.